earlier this month, the world found out that Jane Goodall passed away at the age of 91. And we also found out just yesterday that Netflix had a plan to capitalize on her death before it even happened. They are developing a limited series called Famous Last Words, which will be an 8-part series that they're developing with different celebrities prior to their deaths. They're doing the final interview. Jane Goodall was the first of those 8 to pass away, therefore her episode is airing first. And this was one of the already filmed interviews they have stored away for months. She conducted her interview back in March. And now the trailer is out and these clips are spreading everywhere. She seems to have kind of lost her mind a little bit.
Netflix showing up at aging celebrity homes for an interview. That's literally what it is.
Netflix is getting some flack for capitalizing on the deaths of these public figures. One comment said doing late in life interviews isn't really the issue. It's more Netflix capitalizing on imminent or recent death. It's weird to me. It feels kind of gross.
Okay, let me ask you a question then. Like, am I supposed to believe that Jane Goodall went into this interview not knowing what the bargain was here?
She absolutely knew that this was the premise for the project. In their description here, they say that Jane Goodall sat down for a reflective conversation about her legacy to immortalize her final words with the understanding that it would only be shared with the world after she passed.
This is just like next level capitalism where these brands have like, they're so powerful. They have the capital to just go and record something that could, she could live to 100. You don't know. Like who's the dude that's always on the Hollywood red carpets, and he's Dick Van Dyke. He's like running around like
maybe
this.
He's one of the other celebrities that they interviewed. We don't know yet.
He's the actual Brian Johnson. He's gonna live forever, and they get a recorded interview, and it'll just sit there, not making them any money.
You know, I bet that he was one of the celebrities that they interviewed. One of the other 8.
Jeremy Briggs in the chat says Netflix and kill. Right.
So in this interview, she does offer some words of wisdom, I suppose, her attempt at it. One thing she said was that she wants to be remembered as somebody sent into this world to try to give people hope in dark times, because without hope, we will fall into apathy and do nothing. She tries to spread a message that, you know, we all have a purpose in this world and you may not have found it yet, but you have the power to make a difference. But in other parts of this interview, she appears to be holding on to a lot of resentment and anger, and she's spreading climate propaganda as well. And this is the clip that got the most attention. Her dying wish is to send Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Bibi Netanyahu into outer space. Here is what she said.
Do you have people that you don't like?
Absolutely, there are people I don't like. And I would like to put them on one of Musk's spaceships and send them all off to the planet he's sure he's going to discover.
Would he be one of them?
Oh, absolutely. He'd be the host. And you can imagine who I'd put on that spaceship.
Who?
Along with Musk would be Trump and some of Trump's real supporters. And then I would put Putin in there. And I would put President Xi. I'd certainly put Netanyahu in there and his far-right government. Put them all on that spaceship and send them off. In the place where I am now, I look back over my life. I look back at the world I've left behind. What message do I want to leave?
The message that you ship your enemies off into outer space in a shuttle.
I want to make sure that you all understand that each and every one of you has a role to play. You may not know it, you may not find it, but your life matters. And you are here
unless you're Elon
reason.
Musk, and then you should just
or
die
Donald Trump,
fiery,
or,
and yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I actually tweeted about this when this clip initially came out. And look, I'm never going to be important enough to get an end of life interview. Maybe I'll do it myself.
You can.
Maybe I'll record my own. But how do you put it into the right words? Like, may I never, have a mindset where I spend even a single breath of the last breaths I will ever take focusing on the people that did me wrong or that I don't like. Certainly ones that are just media personalities that I don't even have a real connection to. I would have had more respect if it was like, and this guy, Bob, cut me off in the lunch line in the 5th grade. Fuck him specifically. Like, it's just weird. It's poison for your brain to live with that much hatred in your heart for anyone. I can't endorse that idea that you would use your final interview, your final send-off into space, or into, not space, but into, I guess, the primordial soup, that you would spend any time on those that you hate and dislike, and that you wouldn't spend it on the things that you love, the things that you care about, your family, your friends, the things you've done that you're passionate about. I wouldn't spend it on climate change or even a corresponding cause that I care deeply about. I would focus on things that are good, not this mishgas.
Yeah. It comes off as incredibly bitter and immature for a woman of her age.
I don't even think it's like, I don't think of it as immature. I think of it as a form of like the world beat her down in a way, and the media beat her down. Immaturity to me, it's almost impossible at that age with all of the time you've had to not.
Oh no, it's certainly possible.
I'm not saying people at that age can't be immature, but what I'm saying is that I see this as something where what could be immaturity just turned into hatred, and I don't think of them necessarily as the same thing. The remarks are very pointed. She has her reasons for these things, you know, given her life. It's focusing on the wrong thing.
I think a true sign of maturity when you reach the end of your life is reclamation of sort of childlike wonder.
Mm-hmm.
And we see none of that from her in this clip. It's like looking into a crystal ball and like seeing Greta Thunberg's future.
Yeah, like
sadly.
Look, I tweeted this morning. I was like, take radical responsibility for your own actions. You cannot always change what happens in the world, but you can control how you respond to it. I know that's boilerplate advice, but I think it's good. And I think it's indicative of what we talked about yesterday with like Caleb Hammer and like focusing on what you can do and like your ability to like make your own path in the world. Your finances may be crappy, but you have the ability to change them if you put in the work to do so. There is a personality type that will blame the world around them for their finances being bad, and there's a personality type that will blame the rich people for their life being bad. I have plenty of issues with politicians from all over the spectrum. That doesn't control, I don't let them control whether I have a good life, whether I see the world a specific way. And when you cede that ground to them, you're giving them way more power over you than you need to. By giving any airtime to Elon Musk and Donald Trump in your final au revoir, like in your final speech to the world, giving them any airtime is a victory for them, not for you.
Right. I know she didn't sit there and outwardly incite violence against these public figures, but it is another sign that the left is spiraling, and increasingly their most mainstream voices are veering off in a direction where they're encouraging political violence and wishing death on their enemies, on their political adversaries. One of the replies says, nothing more utterly shit-lib than talking about blasting your political opponents away on rockets before giving the most cookie-cutter platitude speech about how everyone matters. 91 years old, and you end it on that shit.
Yeah, the thing is like the platitudes, I understand, like the platitudes will mean more to the people who like her.
Right.
Like the right, it does plenty of their own platitudes about faith and freedom, things that matter, but it matters because their values resonate with you. Now, we can complain all day about how boring and cookie cutter what she's saying is, but to the people that like her, it will resonate with her.
You know, I'll stick with Steve Irwin.
There you go.
And Bear Grylls. If we're looking at people in Jane Goodall's ilk, I prefer them by far.
There you
over
go.
Jane Goodall.
I just
it's funny, I'm on a streak, weirdly enough, where I keep like making jokes referencing people that die like a week after, because I made a joke about Charlie Kirk like the week before he died.
What'd you say?
It an Instagram reel that I
Oh.
made. I was like making fun of the way that he sipped his coffee. And then it blew up even more after he died, of course, with a bunch of...
Did you address it? Did you address it?
I didn't address it because it was just dumb. And, you know, some people assumed that I made it after his death, which I didn't want them to assume that. And then other people...
Did you take it down?
I didn't end up taking it down because it was
I think
just
that's better. Yeah, like it.
something that I posted to be lighthearted, and if people want to misinterpret it or lie about it, that's fine. But then I also tweeted about Jane Goodall, not about Jane Goodall, but it was referencing Sabrina Carpenter's comment about observing the male species. And I was like, oh, that's funny. Jane Goodall never did stuff with the chimpanzees. And then I was like, I wonder if Jane Goodall is dead. And I looked it up, and it was literally days before she died that happened. But yeah, then she died.
Well, we're
It's
gonna
a
have
weird
to be
streak that I'm on now.
We're gonna have to be very careful anytime you decide to address anybody with social media posts.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.